beauty, the majesty of nature, the wonder of a smile. Let us glory in being together. May we have eyes that delight in beauty, the majesty of nature, the wonder of a smile. Let us glory in being together.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. My name is Mary Eve, and I'm your service leader this morning. Music today is provided by Rachel Derry, Cindy Carey, and the choir. Our story for all ages will be read by Tim Versteeg. The homily will be presented by Reverend Victoria Ingram, and technical support is provided by Monica Bennett, Nancy Wilson, and John Elliott. This Thanksgiving Sunday is also Canvas Sunday, the start of our Canvas Pledge Drive, where we ask our congregation to make a financial pledge toward next year's budget. With a feeling of gratitude, we explore our continuing interconnectedness in this time of physical isolation. I've been a member of this beloved community for about 13 years, and in that time I've served in various roles. Today I will also be speaking to you as a member of the Canvas team, which includes our team leader, Juliana Beckett, and also Bruce Jones, and a group of congregant callers. And now, let us worship together. We are not the first people on this land, nor will we be the last. We acknowledge our connection to the web of all existence, honoring the past and preparing for the future. The stewardship of the original people who lived here preserved this place for our generation. We seek to be respectful stewards of our church for those who follow. We welcome you today. Whatever the circumstances of your life, in the many ways we identify as people, in the diversity of how we live and love. In this house of faith, we are all included as we search for truth, build community, and strive to make the world a better place for all. Our reading comes from Gathering Our Own Spaces by Jeff May. Come, gather into this common time and a common space. We need to be together. We yearn for connection. We hunger for the familiar face of friends, the sound of shared voices proclaiming who we are, where we are going, that which resonates with our hopes, our dreams, our values. Come, gather. We are here in this space made of all spaces, and we share our becoming in this moment. Now that Victoria has lit our chalice, we ask our Canvas team leader, Juliana Beckett, to recite the chalice lighting words, and you're invited to follow along on the words on the screen.
May this flame be our light of friendship and love.
Number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
Source of all, to thee we raise. story for all ages this morning is from the Islamic tradition, and it's called Know Yourself. There was and there was not a man known far and wide for his generosity. One day, as he sat with his friends sipping coffee in the village, a poor woman approached him with a small request for money to feed her child. Of course, he replied, and without hesitation, plucked coin after coin out of his pocket, piling them into the woman's hand until they spilled on the ground. Overwhelmed with this show of kindness, the woman began to weep. She bowed her head in gratitude. May Allah bless you, sir. You have saved my child's life. She carefully placed the coins in a small cloth sack. Glancing up a last time, she thanked them with a frail half smile. When she was out of earshot, the man's friends probed him with questions. Why did you give her so much money? Asked one. That was foolish. Don't you think she will tell all her friends? Asked another. A line of beggars will be at your door tomorrow morning, warned a third. Just yesterday, you gave your zakat, your charity, said a fourth. You weren't obliged to give anything any more. Why did you do it? The generous man kept silent until their indignation had run its course. At last, his friends quieted down. Well, such a poor woman may be pleased with just a little money from me, said the generous man. I couldn't have been. He looked from friend to friend. Unless I give her what I am able to, I won't be happy. She may not know me, but I know myself. And the group of men, thoughtful and contrite, said no more about it. And that's the end of our story.
Thank you, Tim. Like all UU churches, our church, the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton, is self-supporting and does not receive any funding from external sources. The words of hymn number 402 remind us of this. From you, I receive. To you, I give. Together, we share. And from this, we live. Keeping it short and sweet, the short of it is, there would be no Hamilton UU without you, without us. We're all in this together. And the sweet of it is, we need to talk about money, honey, and that money has to come from us. So every year we conduct our Canvas Pledge campaign to raise the funds necessary for the continued existence of all aspects and activities of our church, both tangible, what we can see and hear and touch, and intangible, what we feel in our heart and in our spirit. And this being Thanksgiving Sunday, we can be thankful for how much this church gives to all of us and to the community. We ask all who share in the life of this church to make a financial pledge of support for all that our church provides so that it can continue to be here, not only in good times, but also in challenging times like the current pandemic year and whatever is to come. When UU's established our seventh principle, respect for the interdependent web of existence of which we are a part, little did anyone know that in 2020, as a result of the COVID pandemic, it would be the World Wide Web of the internet that would connect us through virtual interactions. The pandemic has also made it very clear just how interdependent we are, how much we need each other, and that we need to be together. We, our minister, church leaders, and congregants have shown amazing flexibility and creativity by transitioning into what's become a virtual church, an active church, but without walls in a way. And this is what we've been able to do. We continue to be connected and together in a variety of gatherings. Our Sunday services, our annual general meeting, weekly drop-ins with Reverend Victoria, the Economic Inequality Workshop, the Food for Thought Book Club, Coming of Age CYRE program, reading by Margaret, UU Family, and our new chalice groups. We continue to be informed through our church website, weekly announcements, UU History Tuesdays, Social Justice Fridays, and CYRE Outside the Walls. We continue to be cared for through pastoral care from Reverend Victoria, caring support phone calls, lay chaplain ceremonies and services, and the weekly resilience support toolkit. We continue to do ongoing necessary church work, like board work, administration, finance, building and grounds maintenance, and committee and team meetings. We continue to do our work in the community and the wider world. Our social justice initiatives around gender and sexual justice in affordable housing, volunteering at the Eva Rothwell Center, COVID mask fundraising for the Stephen Lewis Foundation, hosting the 6-minute memoir fundraiser for Hamilton Food Share, providing a venue for a community 12-step group meeting, and expanding our church's reach through Sunday services broadcast on cable TV and on YouTube. And we've even introduced a few in-person, social distanced outdoor interactions. The pickup of the spiritual resources packages and the blessing of our book bags, briefcases and backpacks in our parking lot, book club meetings taking place in the garden, and a hiking outing. That's a lot of stuff. And on this Thanksgiving Sunday, we can be thankful that our church continues to be here, continues to support us, and continues to fulfill our mission to nurture each other, serve the community, and inspire action that heals the world. And that our church is doing this during a time when many of us need it more than ever. Now it's our turn to be here to support our church and to respect the interdependent web that is our church by making a financial pledge. The pledge goal for 2021 is the same as for 2020, $280,000. If overall expenses remain constant, with some increasing and some decreasing, and if pledged income levels remain constant, and if our current loss of other income, which is mostly rentals, is constant, we are forecasting a deficit of $20,000 in 2021. On this Canvas Sunday, I invite you to ask yourself this question: how much can I pledge? We recognize that the pandemic has affected us in different ways. Some of us have financial difficulties and may not be able to pledge much or at all. And some of us have fewer expenses and may be able to maintain or even increase our pledge. We also recognize that financial situations can change after making a pledge. So we ask that you give what you can, if you can. Like so many things in our lives today, this year's campaign has gone virtual. Our Canvas Sunday service is being conducted over Zoom instead of in the sanctuary. There's no in-person pledging at the Canvas table outside the sanctuary doors. And we are asking you to make a virtual pledge, which is still a real pledge. It's just done virtually. That means making your pledge of financial support online through the church website or by email. Step-by-step details on virtual pledging and also for pledging by mail are included in the Canvas information package sent to you either by email or regular postal mail. If you haven't received that, by the end of this week, send an email to canvas@uuhamilton.ca, or you can call Juliana Beckett or Bruce Jones or me. We ask that you reply to the pledge request, even if you're unable to make a pledge, so that we receive it by the end of this 2-week campaign period, which is October 25th. After that date, our Canvas callers will be contacting anyone we haven't heard from. So please make it easy on your fellow congregants on the calling team and send your pledge reply early. This virtual campaign also calls to mind the word virtue. You might want to consider pledging as an opportunity to think about virtues associated with giving and receiving. Those of generosity, humility, gratitude, stewardship, generativity, commitment, service, hope, and love. On behalf of the entire Canvas team, I thank you in advance for your thoughtful consideration and for your financial pledge, whatever the amount, if you are able to pledge.
Thanks. Thanks, Mary and the Canvas team for putting together our annual opportunity to share with one another in the congregation. This morning, for our time of contemplation, I'd like you to take a deep breath and find a place of comfort while I read you these words from Nancy Reed McKee. We'll take a few breaths and then we'll join Cindy in doing some chanting this morning. Our community knows no boundaries. We are not confined by the physical limits of walls. We release ourselves and each other from expectations of what is needed for true community. We are here. We are together in this space. I see you. I hear you. I love you. Our chalice reminds us of the beacon of light at the center of what we believe as a faith community, and it holds us together, here and now.
Good morning and welcome. Today's chant is Ad Gure Name. There's a time to take a breath between each phrase, and we will sing through 5 times. Sa
Well, happy Thanksgiving. Finding our own places of gratitude, we also mark the beginning, as you know, of our annual Canvas this week in our congregation. And our Canvas team have given you many deeply compelling reasons to continue to support your church community with your financial pledge. And as Mary said, it's about the money this time, honey. We all know the facts. It takes resources like money and time and talent to be part of a community and to make it work. But they've done a great job with that message, so I want to take a few minutes to focus on another important event that is happening today. It is National Coming Out Day. Tucked right here in the middle of LGBTQ Two-Spirit Plus History Month, this day seeks to raise awareness of the queer community. It was started by gay activists Robert Eichberg and Jean O'Leary in 1988 to celebrate and normalize coming out. 1988, that's over 30 years ago. Isn't that amazing? And so much has changed in our world since that time, and yet so many things have remained the same. So while our brothers and sisters who are in the LGBTQ plus community occupy a much larger and larger space in the world with visibility and respect and engagement, it's also not a secret that homophobia and hate and bigotry still plague the lives of gay people here and around the world. I want you to, for a moment, imagine growing up knowing that you're different. Imagine coming of age with no one in your life that seems to understand or respect the feelings and desires that you experience. Imagine living in fear and anxiety about making a slip up or telling anyone about who you truly are or being found out. Imagine feeling the need to tell your parents and your family, your friends and people that you love who are around you, you need to tell them that you may not be what they think you are, and hoping that when you share your truth, it doesn't end your relationship with those people and isolate you from them. I know when we're all in our early teens and at various times in our life, all of us have moments when we feel that we are different from other people. And most of the time, for most of those kinds of differences, at least we don't feel like it puts us at risk for being disowned by our families, potentially being targeted for harassment or violence, or being discriminated against in the workplace. Creating a welcoming place for all kinds of people is an important facet of why Unitarian Universalism is vital in the world. Really important here in Hamilton, in Canada. We are a religious community that says, come, come, whoever you are. Your UU church is a place that will make a place for you, embrace you as you are in yourself and true identity, and celebrate the beauty of the life you are here on earth to live. We will affirm your choice to live your authentic self. I love these words from UU Minister Alex Capitan. Tell them that in your faith tradition, we don't love people despite their differences or because they can't help being different. We love people because of their differences and because diversity enriches our world and our communities. Coming into being one's true self should be a joyous celebration, a happy and life-affirming moment of fulfillment. Coming Out Day is about making a space for openly living and loving who you are. Unitarian Universalism affirms that fullness of spirit and experience and inclusion and involvement. Encouraging each other to explore and live our best selves, our fullest selves, our most sacred beings, that's worth the time and effort and resources that it takes. Like money, that allow us to say yes in a world where so many things and so many others say no. To allow us to say you're all right when others might say that you're wrong. That's why we're here together in this community of faith. So happy Coming Out Day and enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend.
Number 128, For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build a common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we've learned, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build a common good and make our own days glad.
Thank you, Rachel. And now Reverend Victoria will extinguish our chalice. Thank you for being here this morning. Our benediction and closing words are taken from two readings that I've combined. From We Are One by Amy Zucker Morgenstern and Apart But Together by Cynthia Landrum. We extinguish this flame, but the sparks within us remain alight. From each of us, in our supposed solitude, the signals buzz and hum, sparkling through space, one to another, connecting us invisibly but palpably. We are one. We are apart, but we are together, offering our love, our commitment, our hope, and our prayers in service to one another and this world. Thank you.
Love, love, love. All we need is love.